Thanks for joining me. My name's Jonathan Goodwin. For those that don't know me, I'm a former athlete and stunt performer, and now I'm a hypnotherapist. I spend my days treating people, usually like this, over Zoom, for their unwanted feelings, emotions, or behaviors. Any of those things where you feel like, I don't know why I feel like this, I want to make a change, or I don't know why I'm behaving like that, I would rather be different. And hypnosis is a really, really effective way of doing that. Now, this is an hypnotic interview. I'm going to have a chat with somebody and talk about their life, about their career, and about their unconscious behaviors, anything that they experience that they would rather make a change to. And then within this interview, we'll do a hypnosis session to see if we can't make a shift and resolve those issues. And today I'm talking to Kimberly Wyatt, the former Pussycat Doll, who is one of the busiest working people in show business. Her and her partner Max, they run a dance academy, they do all kinds of different engagements, and they have 3 children under the age of 10. I don't know how they do it, but I'm gonna find out in this chat. So buckle up and enjoy this conversation with Kimberly Wyatt. Hello mate, how are you?
How are you?
Good. And now are you pressed for time, or are you okay?
No, I'm pretty okay. I can send the husband on the school run.
Oh, well, that's good. That's a nice thing to have. Where are you? Where do you guys live? I love your backdrop. That's incredible.
A little artwork. Ooh. So we're in Surrey, sort of Weybridge.
Yeah. And is that where you have been since you came to this country, or have you guys moved around a bit?
Sort of dotted around. I've stayed at a few different places around London, like Primrose Hill and Islington, and then the two of us ended up in Clapham for about 3 years.
Clark. Yeah.
Clom.
I appreciate you doing this. It's very, very kind of you.
More than happy.
Essentially, my new direction is about the perception that people have of hypnosis, and that they're very suspicious of it, and people sort of kind of keep it at arm's length. And I want to change that. I want to move the needle and make people not scared of it. And I think one of the best ways to do it is to show them. So we obviously met at the John and Lucy Odd Couples show,
Yes.
and you were, mercilessly defeated by me and Amanda. I think one of the things that I sort of took most from meeting you is that you and Max are incredibly busy all the time, and yet you both have you've got 3 kids under 10 years old, haven't you?
Yes, we do.
How do you do that? What's the secret there? Because that's amazing.
Well, it's relentless, really. I mean, we were done after having 2, so 3 was a surprise. So there's times where I'm like, I didn't sign up for this because it is so relentless. But I guess teamwork ultimately. We have sort of my dance academy that we run together. So we're sort of in each other's pockets on both the business sort of side and running a dance academy together where our kids go, and we have sort of almost like a dance family per se, as well as trying to stay on top of everything else that we do and the social schedules of 3 children on top of that.
I know, right? You become just taxi service of mum and dad, don't you?
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to ask you, because you're from Missouri, but obviously now you live here, and I've spent the last 15 years living in America, and I'm a citizen, actually, an American citizen, but now I live back in the UK. So the question I want to ask you is, what are the 3 things, apart from people, because that obviously is a given, what are the 3 things that you miss from America?
Oh, thunderstorms, like major thunderstorms,
Big ones.
big ones. Um, the hills, running canyon and things in LA. Loved that.
Yeah, Onion Canyon's so beautiful.
So beautiful. It was like my go-to every morning. Probably the just familiarity of, you come from the States, so when you go back, it just feels familiar.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's like your people and the environment and whatnot. I think I miss customer service.
Yes,
Uh,
God, yes. 24 hours.
yeah, right. And I guess attached to that then would be like, convenience. Because I think that's the thing that America has really nailed is just making everything as easy as it possibly could be. So you can get anything that you want any time of the day. If you want to go and go to Walmart, you can get anything, literally anything you want, and it's always open. And that I think is something that I miss because it's not like that here at all.
I feel you. The customer's always right. I quite like that whole motto. It's not the same way here.
I guess the other question that I have to ask you, given what we're talking about, is what you know about hypnosis. What's been your experience or your knowledge of it up until this point?
Well, I mean, I've not had really any experiences of hypnosis before. I've always been quite fascinated by it and have watched videos of other people being hypnotized. And yeah, I really do find it fascinating. I think probably the closest I've been is guided meditation, and like Reiki and sort of those sorts of things. But that's as close as I've ever come to hypnosis.
The thing that I think a lot of people take from it is the sort of stage performer stuff. That's the most common thing, where somebody's sort of being made to think that they're a banana or whatever that might be. But the thing about it really is that it's a naturally occurring it's a naturally occurring mental state. It's really learning. It's a level of learning at an unconscious level. So whether that be that you're now a banana or something else, we do it though to ourselves. And so that unconscious learning could be anything. A fear is a really simple example, an obvious example. Your fear, a fear of spiders or mice or belly buttons or anything like that. You don't choose to have that fear. It's something that you learn unconsciously, and so that's what hypnosis is. And the problem that people get into is when they learn something that they didn't choose to learn. If you learn something unconsciously, you can't consciously unlearn it, if that makes sense. I can't I can't tell you to I can't tell you to unlearn how to tie your shoes. Well, I mean, where would you start?
Yeah.
Have you experienced things that that feel a bit non-volitional, where like whether it could be like a feeling or an emotion or even a behavior where you're acting a certain way and at the same time you're thinking, I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah, I definitely recognize that I have trauma triggers, like having experienced certain things throughout my life, as a child, as a kid, as a teenager, where trauma has overtaken and left me with the leftovers of anxiety and the ability to not deal with confrontation or yelling or things like that. I feel like I'm definitely triggered by certain aspects of that.
Got it. So that there are things that happen in the past that that then trigger an anxiety response in you when similar situations arise. Is that
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
It's really costly, and anxiety is one of the things that I treat most often. I guess because people experience trauma. It's hard to grow up to be an adult and not experience trauma at some level.
And I think that sort of then took me to this point in my teenage years where I had to go to a psychologist and have all of these chats, which I was very like, I didn't want to speak. So I'd have to do work sheets and things to express what I was going through because my emotions were just all over the place. And so then by the end of those sessions, I was sort of labeled as having social anxiety. And even to this point, like, yeah, I'm definitely triggered by crowds of people. I find it very difficult in social situations and things when there's more than a few people. Um, but also because of that label, then I've just lived with that label for so long. So it's kind of trying to unpick the label and just realize where I feel like I've come from is unpicking the label, realizing that traumas can become triggers. And I'm just sort of left to kind of, yeah, pick through it and unwind it all again.
It's a really hard thing to do consciously, like I said, to I mean, it's great to be able to recognize what's happening. And that's, I think, one of the benefits of therapy is that it can really give you an understanding of the causes of your unconscious behaviors. but it's really difficult to stop them, even though you know what's causing them. It's a little bit like giving somebody the instruction manual for an aeroplane, and whilst they might be able to read it and know how a plane flies, it doesn't mean that they can be a pilot. Does that make sense? Like
Totally.
even now, you're an anxiety sufferer. You have those unwanted feelings and behaviors.
I have certainly come such a long way with my anxieties, but I'm also in this like phase now where I can feel them happening and I can almost detach from myself and feel like I can see them happening to me, but can't quite just completely get rid of them, if you know what I mean.
It's amazing because, you know, to the public at large, you are this incredible badass, super confident, you know, person. And I think a lot of people would find it quite surprising that you have those sorts of, you know, anxieties and sort of maybe insecurities and stuff like that. That it doesn't really jibe with the sort of with the work that you.
Totally. Totally. So to show up in circumstances being expected to be this, you know, larger than life person, but showing up as me, which is really quite shy and reserved, I'm living in a dichotomy.
Well, you know, the good news is we might be able to help. We might be able to solve that, and, you know, wave a magic wand and make a shift. So, are, are you up for that?
Yes, please.
Fantastic. Ready?
Ready.
Relax your eyes. I want you to relax your eyes and consciously do that 10 times more, 50 times more. All of the tiny little muscles in your eyes and your eyelids. And I want you to relax your eyes to the point that you are convinced that confident and calm. 3, more aware of where you are. 2, happy and relaxed. 1, you can open your eyes now. Stretch and smile. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. Really good.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel really relaxed, quite peaceful. Yeah, that was amazing.
It's not unpleasant, is it? It's not a scary thing.
No, it wasn't scary at all. It was really lovely. Yeah, it was incredibly relaxing and I didn't realize you could get to such a deep relaxation so quickly.
You were like out, gone. You know, you went with it.
It's amazing.
But you're a really good hypnotic subject. So I would fully expect this to have a shift for you. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. I know you're super busy, so it's very kind of you to take time out to do it.
Yeah, well, likewise, thank you for giving me your time. It's the good stuff, it's the purpose stuff that makes a real difference. So, yeah, I'm really grateful to have a little moment to dive in and dig deep and hopefully make a few little changes, little tweaks.
Give my love to Max and your kiddos. We need to hang out at some point soon.
We do, we really do.
Fam, right. Have a lovely day.
You too. Oh, cheers.
Cheers, mate.
We'll see you soon.
Since my session with you, Jonathan, I really have felt a shift. It's in the everyday moments where maybe there'd be just that little bit of anxiety creeping in, where I'm finding that it just hasn't. And it's not like a mindful thing. It's not like something that I've been like, oh, it's gonna come and I've got to let it go. It's just not there, and that's very new to me. Usually I've learned something and I'll be mindful going into situations of all the breathing techniques and things I can use to combat it. Whereas this is different. This is really special. It's really personal and special and lovely and incredible. I can't wait to see you again and tell anybody and everybody that needs a little shift in their lives. I feel like this is certainly worth giving a try. Thank you for your beautiful work.
So that was Kimberly. I really enjoyed talking to her. It's amazing, isn't it, how somebody so sort of dynamic and successful, a pussycat doll, can be shy and experience anxiety. And that just goes to show how our past experiences can really affect us. And if that resonates with you, if you have any unwanted feelings, thoughts, or behaviors, then get in touch with me. My social media is Jonathan Goodwin Official on Facebook and Instagram, and @TheDaredevil at Twitter. And if you want to make a change, then I'd love to try and help you. All right. Thanks for watching.